Celebrating another milestone for the professional women's hockey league. Is back at the end of March. We officially crossed over the 2 million fan mark. Just incredible, right? Yeah. Just wow. Just honestly. I mean, seriously. Literally this time last year, we crossed the 1 million mark, and that was a complete surprise. And of course, go and check out the episode we did on that last year. It was a complete surprise. And now here we are, literally a year later, and 2 mil? 2 mil? 2 mil? Could you imagine if we were to do that on a year-on-year basis? Just get 1 million fans in on a year-on-year basis. It could be doable. Yeah. It could be doable, especially if we get 2 or 4 more teams next year. It could be doable. There's nothing to say it can't happen. It's just, yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's incredible. So, the milestone was hit back on Wednesday, the 25th of March, 2026. That was literally the week after we got back from our trip. We landed back in the UK on the 20th of March. So the week after that. So it's the week after the trip. But obviously incredible. There were 2 games on that night. There obviously was the Taylor Tour game, the second in Chicago, this time featuring Seattle Torrent and New York Sirens. That was a thrilling game for the Torrent. I mean, their offense exploded in that game. Yeah, incredible game. And of course, we were hosting the Montreal Victoire, who unfortunately did get the win in that one. It was a bad week for us that week. It was a bad. That week we came back to the trip. That kind of pretty much sunk any chances we had of getting to top 2. Just one title of her myself. I know. Even though it's been kind of a curse for those teams in the PWHL that have had it last year. I know what you feel. I know. One day we will get it. One day we will get it, but it's going to be this year. Yeah, so guys, just general thoughts in a way. There isn't, unfortunately, I did just double check, there isn't a news article on the PWHL website about it. There were social media posts put on about it, and obviously I've done some with mine. I definitely did the Instagram. I'm not too sure if I got around to doing on the Blue Sky because it was still quite the thick of the jet lag. So if I managed to get it on one but not the other, they're down, still getting kind of the Blue Sky. Right, yeah. So yeah, just general thoughts. It is absolutely incredible to see once again the league grow in so many different ways. And you know, I mean, we were all taken aback by it this time last year because obviously last year we were still very much young. It was 14 months when it happened last year. We were only we were only operational for 14 months, and already we've had what more than 1 million people have come to the gates. Couldn't believe that. Now, so it's incredible achievement, and it is possible we could see it happen on a more recurring basis, given how. Yeah, you said it, George. We're going to potentially adding 2 or 4 more teams next year. Yeah. There's more interest now, especially on the back of a really successful Olympic tournament. And that's been the key. Yeah. That has been the key. The Olympics have been the key to our success this season because what it's done, and you two have been involved with Women's Olympics more than I have, so you two can step in if you want. Oh, we will. We'll let you go first, and then we'll go. Okay. What it's done is it's basically opened up people's eyes that there is, you know, more than meets the eye. There is opportunities after Olympics to be involved in the game. You just basically got to just go out there and get involved. Yeah, I mean, I think what's been great about this Olympic tournament is how obviously, you know, for the first time ever in all of our lifetimes, at the end of it, we don't have to say, oh, we'll see you in 4 years' time. Because literally the next women's hockey game is literally then just around the corner. And I think what it's done, what Milano Cortina's legacy is it's basically, you know, getting people aware of the game more than it ever would have happened before. I think you'll have had more people this year watch those games and be, right, I'm going to go and find it, rather than, oh, that was nice to watch, I'll just see you again 4 years' time ago. Because with a lot of Olympic sports, you just watch them and you think, yeah, that's great, but this is the only time I get to see them, and it's basically once every 4 years. Whereas now, with our game, you don't have to wait once every 4 years. You don't have to wait till needs for the next set of women's hockey games if you want to still be involved with women's hockey. You can get access to them literally right here, right now, on the doorstep. You've just got to go out there. You've got to get yourself involved. You've got to get engaged, and you've just got to be willing to try out our league. If you've watched any of the games of Milano Cortina, you haven't been involved with the PWHL before, and you feel like you want to get more women's hockey in life, then let's just give our league a try, and you will be absolutely amazed with, you know, what it's done. And I feel like I agree with what you said earlier, Pluto. I think you might have said this on all the post-trip content we've done. Yeah. The Olympics didn't give us a boost, because you can't really boost something that's already shattered records already. What it has done is it's made more people aware of our sport, of our game, and hopefully of our league. Would that be fair? I think that would be the fair assessment, yeah. We're definitely seeing more people now at least being aware of who we are, which as advocate is your job, George. Yeah, it's always, you make it very clear, your job as an advocate is to make sure that is to get people aware of who we are, educate on who we are, and then also engaging with us. Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant work, Ellie. Summed up my advocacy role. I didn't need to do my purse, you just did it for me. Yeah, aware, educate, and engage. That is what I try to do when it comes to my advocacy work. Carry on? Yeah, so, yeah, I'm going to agree with you guys. I mean, do we think we would have got to 2 million this year if the Olympics didn't happen? We still could have. Yeah. We still could have, but might have been fall short. Yeah. Because we never do get the numbers of the total attendances. No. We just hear about it when we hear about it. Yeah. Yeah. I think if we didn't have the Olympics, I think we probably would have gone close. Yeah. But it probably would have then been this time next year. You would have got it, which would have been fair, because obviously by next year we're expecting more teams on the horizon. Yeah. But I think we would have got close. If we added Blockly, I think we would have gotten close, especially when we had the TD Garden and MSG games. And of course, Scotiabank and Burlsell also provided good numbers of all of theirs back earlier in the year. Yeah. So I think we might have gotten close, but Milano Cortina has just kind of helped us tip it over the line. Yeah, and hopefully that's something we can build on for the next games. Yeah, especially how, you know, what's been great about Milano Cortina is how there's a lot of players out there who are going to be coming into the league very, very soon. Just a few weeks' time. Because technically the draft is now weeks away, not months away. Yeah. And they're going to literally like this league. A lot of people go, oh yeah, I remember her from Milano Cortina. That's going to be so amazing. So, So the Olympics has helped in a big way, but it's not been the big boost that a lot of people are going to try and make it out to be, like that person that was near us in our block. Yeah. Yes, but do you want to bet? Yeah. It was on the first game, so when we hosted Seattle, they made out the attendance, and I noticed someone in our block say, oh, Olympic boost, and that really wound me up, because now, come on, we're in the state of hockey, we don't need anything to boost our attendances. People will show out regardless, because it's the state of hockey. Exactly. They'll even wear their jerseys to work. That's how committed the state of hockey is to hockey. They'll even wear their jerseys to work. Because I still could not believe that. Literally, we get into a hotel, we check after having flown in, and we check in, and the staff are basically wearing wild jerseys. That's how you know you've landed in the state of hockey, when you go to your hotel and the staff are wearing wild jerseys. That is how you know. That's how you know. No, but it has just been incredible to see over these last couple of years how we've been growing. I mean, you would expect this in season 1 to be where we are now. And I think just that just shows how I think we all just underestimated the growth of this league. We underestimated how quickly it was going to grow. Because I think we always knew that the league was going to grow, but we thought it would go at a more steady pace because there was so much work that went into that inaugural season. There was so much work, especially how the inaugural 6 teams did not have names, did not have brands, did not have logos, had very basic jersey designs. So it wasn't this. So there's a lot of work that went into that long season. So you can't blame a lot of us for thinking, oh, the growth will happen, but it's going to go at a more steady pace because this league has got a lot to do. As you would when you start a new league from scratch. We did not expect, literally, on pop drop, for that growth to immediately just come out the starting blocks, literally just come out the stalls, to use Grand National terms. It was just like literally a bolt out of the gate because we're off. So I think that's what has been the key factor into something like that, is that the growth of this league just skyrocketed to the point where you can't really contain it. You've just got to go with it. You've got to run with it. And I think that's what's been incredible, is how the growth has been so quick, and it's going to continue to keep growing at a more fast pace, especially with Seattle. I mean, I think what's taken all three of us by surprise is how Seattle, they are getting crowds of at least 13,000 on a night in, night out. To the point where you, George, now just, oh, that's just a regular Tuesday. Yeah, it's just with Seattle, because we know Seattle is a new upcoming market. It's only had the NHL for 5 years now, and they've flown by. Yeah, they really have flown by. So the NHL's only been set up for 5 years. Petro Arena, it still feels quite new, and yet Seattle is getting at least 13,000 people on a night-in, night-out basis. Let's not forget that so far, Petro Arena is the only primary venue in the PWHL that has filled in every single seat. The only other way to do that, of course, was the MSG game back on Easter Saturday. So I think what I got from this season with Seattle in particular, and we are going to talk more about it in detail when we do the report cards in the summer for each team. What I've been really impressed with Seattle is how you have managed to bring in the punters night in, night out on a regular basis, proving to us why it was right to go with Seattle over other different markets. Especially, of course, as this first round match was very heavy on the Pacific West Coast. So, and I think Seattle, if we didn't have Seattle, that I don't think would get to me so quickly. Seattle has been a huge help in getting to that 2 million mark, because they're having, at least 13,000 people get to Petro on a regular basis. I'm going to be keeping. I would love to see the full attendance figures for Seattle, because I think, will we see any that below 10,000? Probably not. So I think that's a huge factor. Because obviously, yeah, we've been in Grand Casino Arena since day one, and we do okay. We don't have a problem with our attendance records, but the other team that's been heavily involved in the NHL venue, the Sirens, they've been really, of course, letting the side down, both in season 1 when they were in UBS Arena and Mortgage Arena, and obviously since season 2 when they moved to Prudential Centre full time. And I, of course, support that move to Prudential Centre. I still support it, but come on. You're in an NHL venue. Can you at least try and at least get to, say, 9,000 on a regular basis? Because that's a good benchmark. They need to open the upper bowls in New Jersey. They need to just do that. Just open the upper bowls to New Jersey. And if you're not saying any of that before getting close to game time, then okay, then close them off. At least it lets give people the chance to buy the tickets first. Then if it's not doing well, okay, then close them off. Yeah, New York are really let the side down. They really are. And this is something I was thinking about going into the start of this season. Seattle and Vancouver pulled their weight. And we really start looking at you thinking, what gives? So, yeah, what gives, guys? Come on, get people in the bar. We can't let MSG be a one-off. You've got to get more people into Prudential Centre next season. I do wonder if the problem with New York is that you've got a lot of lazy New Yorkers who just sit on their backsides and can't be bothered to get down to the Prudential Centre. Because I think New Jersey citizens would happily travel across interstate. Yeah. So what gives? But no, so I think a lot of the reasons behind what we've got to 2 million now so quickly is because you've had markets like Seattle and Vancouver who have literally pulled their weight and have just brilliant work for their first season. Because it's always so hard for expansion teams to come in, try and get establish themselves as franchises, get that connection with the city, which is why I think it's good that they did do the inaugural season jerseys for those two this year. And I of course, I've done an episode on that before the season began where I talked about how that could be a good tradition for us. We've got, of course, the future expansion team. Yeah. And also, this time around, the milestone was a bit more touching, a bit more poignant for us, because our footprints are now added to that statistic. This time last year, our footprints were nowhere near that statistic, because we hadn't yet been out there in person. Despite having been, die-hard, loyal supporters of this league from day one. This time around, we can now officially say we can add our name to that statistic because we've been out there for ourselves and we just absolutely loved it. Like I said, we do hope over the next few years, we do hope to do more frequent trips to the PWHL. We would love to go back up with that as soon as possible. We'd love to be visiting Minnesota as many times as possible. We still want to do the inaugural 6 teams bonds. We still want to do that. Maybe do a Frost Road game one day. Maybe do a Taylor Tour game that doesn't involve the Frost and compare the experience compared to how I was watching the Taylor Tour game with the Frost. Yeah. So there's a lot of trial plans that we want to do with this league over the next several years. It just all depends on finances and how physically possible is it to do in terms of health-wise as well. Yeah. So finances and health are going to play a huge part as to whether or not we can do that over the next several years. But like I said, we want to do as many trips to the PHL as possible over the next few years. Because this trip we had back in March was just trip of a lifetime. We are not going to forget that in a hurry. So we want to do as many of those as possible. So I kind of thought the milestones was a bit more pointed this time around because we could say we add our names to that. Yeah, and if you have not been out to the PHL in person yet, then please do make it. It's the tickets are so affordable these days. Tickets to the PHL games are way more affordable than AirShot. I mean, I keep saying that. We should have brought Bernie up. I keep saying that I don't think the seats that we had in Ball Arena, I don't think we were able to have got those seats if it was for an Avalanche Sharks or an Avalanche Wild or an Avalanche Kings game. Because obviously these are the Kings supporters. I don't think we would have got that if it was those seats, if it was for that. We would have to maybe gone a couple of rows above. So, the PHL has done so many things right, including making it affordable for people to come to games. So if you have not been to the PHL game yet, try and see if you can during the upcoming playoffs, or just wait until next season when the schedule will come out, and we will possibly have more teams. It does sound like we are going to get more teams next season. We're just still waiting for that to be confirmed. They had said that news is coming soon. But obviously, it's just such a good milestone, and you're probably going to see more episodes like this on a more recurring basis because that milestone is going to keep getting passed over and over and over because the growth is just accelerating at a more faster pace. I mean, this time last year it was a bit of a shock because when it happened last year, we've only been in operation for 14 months. Now we've had longer than that. It doesn't feel as surprised because we've seen how well this league's doing. We know how important the league is and what the work it's done, and it's just going to continue to grow. These are exciting times now to be involved in women's hockey because we have a pro league. The dark days of the 2010s are well and truly behind us. Where it literally was for me only once every 4 years, and that's mainly because I didn't know there was a Women's World Championships. Now, before the PWHL, I had no idea that the women did a World Championship. I know the men had, but never followed it. But so since the PWHL, I have been involved with the IHF Women's World Championships. So that might also be something to add onto the bucket list. And the World Champ. We did say do it, we did say maybe depends on where they go in the next few years. We did say maybe. I think I did say perhaps in Sweden I would do it, because I want to do Sweden. Yeah, so those dark days of the 2010s in terms of hockey, when it was only once every 4 years, those are well and truly in the rear-view mirror. I was surprised you haven't got All Flawless Machine on this board. I don't really know that song that well. No, don't really know that song that well. The Flawless Machine song that I can recall is the one where it goes, that one, which is very high pitched. It's like, that's the one I can recall. Oh, the one they did for Cruella. That was a very short song. I think it was about, a minute and 50 long? It wasn't that much of a song. It was basically just they did the credits of Cruella. Are they still doing Cruella too? I have no idea. Okay. But yeah, so this honestly, it's just incredible. Yeah, it's just incredible and amazing to see. And just get used to it. Get used to it happening, because who knows, this time next week we might come back and say, we hit the 3 bill, and after that 4 bill. It's just, but it's just amazing to see that people are now engaging with women's hockey. And this is what we've wanted. This is what we've wanted for decades. This is what we have been waiting for since 1998. For people to finally now wake up, look at us, and actually take us seriously, and actually get involved, actually engage, actually want to go and attend an actual women's game. We are now seeing it with our own eyes, and it's just incredible. Like I said, we have been so proud to be part of it from day one, and that prize is just going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger the more teams that we throw into the mix. So it's just, there are really exciting times ahead, especially of course now the World Championships are now before the season rather than during the season. Yeah, that is going to help us so much next season. With season, to have the World Championships beginning of November before we start our season. What we probably late November. That is going to be a huge help. That's going to be a huge help, especially with off season, because it means that during off season we can then start to prepare for Worlds and start thinking about how the roster is going to shape. Get schedules, look at our groups. There's so much. Yeah, I honestly, I don't. When they announced that change, I thought, oh, thank God, I don't have to worry about off season, because off season is hell. When it comes to women's hockey, off season is hell because it's a long wait. Especially how we get really bad summers now these days here in the UK. We get really bad summers, so it feels like a long wait. But I felt this time it isn't going to be that bad, because we can then start turning the focus towards the World Championships. Of course, Lady Me are going to be doing a lot of World Championships content over the summer. We're going to get geared up for that. We're happening on November the 6th this year. It's the 6th to the 16th of November, and then probably a week or two after that, that's where we'll probably get the PWHL season probably started. I would not be surprised if we start the next season 4 on Thanksgiving, like we did last season. Because you're going to need at least a week, maybe 2 after the World Championships to then get train camps in gear. So I would not be surprised if we do start next season, Thanksgiving weekend. Would not surprise me. That's an educated guess, by the way. That's an educated guess. But we don't have to worry about that being a problem, because we'll be engaged with the World Championships at the start of November, and then it will be like a couple of days between them before we get started with season 4. So that's going to be exciting. So I'm not too worried about the off-season this year compared to what we were this time last year. We couldn't cope last year. We really couldn't. So is there more you guys want to say about this? Because I think it's just another incredible milestone, and we're just going to see more of these. We're just literally we're gonna keep. I think it's also the best. Just get used to this. Get used to seeing us talk about this. Get used to talking about how many millions we've got, because this league is here to stay, and now people are finally. We're now finally seeing the reach of the awards, and people are now finally starting to get engaged with us. Even those who haven't been involved with it before, it's incredible. Yeah. And the more Olympic cycles the PWHL is involved in, the more people are going to be interested. Especially because the next couple of cycles, you're going to see a new wave. A new generation take up. Because a lot of the players that are currently on those rosters, you're at that point where it's like, oh no, this might be the last ones. Like, look at Henry, for example. Yeah. Who knows, it could be Kendall Marine next. It's like, ugh. So you're right, boy. Yeah, the next couple of cycles, there'll be like this new generation of this next wave of the upcoming stars. So yeah, that's exciting, but also nerve-wracking at the same time. Yeah, so it's just incredible. Absolutely incredible. Honestly, just congratulations to everyone involved to get the PWHL to hit the 2 million fan mark. We also play a part in that. Yes, we're actually going there, you know. And of course, thanks to everyone who's attended games, because that's the only way we can get this number grown. Is you go out there, attend the games. So yeah, so you haven't attended the game yet, get yourself down there. It's so easy. It's just the best experience you will have in your lives. And we love this league. We're so proud to be part of it. And just want to say congratulations on hitting the 2 million fans mark. It's absolutely incredible, and we can't wait to see what is next in terms of attendance for the PWHL. But until next time, I think we'll do that. So thanks for us. Until next time, guys. Take care.